I'm going to share with you 3 stories. And these are true stories. True stories involving kids and families. And one could consider how horrific it is. But you definitely need to hear this. So don't turn away just yet. Because I'm going to get to a point here and it's going to shock you and it's going to open your eyes even more because it's going on all around you and we're not paying any attention to it. And then, of course, this video may get pulled. It may get taken off because of the sensitivity of it. What do we do when it's interfering with the raising of our kids? Behind the scenes, and it's upsetting. We don't do anything about it. Like, what can we do about it? Here's a bit of information that you need to know. Hi, this is Robert Wilkins, aka Basketball Tall. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad that you're with me here today because I'm going to talk about something that's extremely important. And you don't want to miss this because it will and can have an effect, not just on you, but your entire family. But first of all, before I get into the program, I want to thank you, my subscribers, for going with me on this journey because it's a journey of transformation. And for those of you that are new to this channel, welcome. And I highly encourage you to also press the subscribe button, and that way you won't miss out on any new content that I upload on this channel. And by the way, it's free. Doesn't cost you a thing. So in that case, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, and that way you'll be the first to be notified when new programs come out. But today I'm going to talk about something that's sensitive. It can be disturbing to some, and then again, I'm sure many won't agree. And don't be surprised that I get a lot of backlash from even talking about this. Because sometimes the things that we need to say takes a little courage. And too often many of us cower down and we don't say the things that needs to be said to bring about a positive change. Have you ever noticed when laws are changed, for something that was meant for good, it always have a tendency to be manipulated. And then you have other elements and things coming out and about because of it. But let me ask you this question. Do you think it's important for you to raise kids with your morals and values as to how you see fit that your child should be raised? Let me ask you, how do you feel about when someone interferes with your disciplining or raising your kids? Oh, leave that child alone. That child's going to be okay. When that person's morals and values may not be the same as yours. Then again, they may not have good morals or values. But then instructing you and telling you how you should raise your child. Because what I'm talking about here today, guys, I'm talking about kids. I'm not just talking about your grandkids and kids that's not even born yet. Because it's just that important, what I'm going to talk about here today. When I was a police officer, part of the job, the job is to serve, protect. But its main function is the protection of the public. And then when I became a district court juvenile officer, the job basically was about protection of the public and protection of the child. Then I was a child welfare social worker, also known as CPS, Child Protective Services, in many other places. And of course, the job there was protection of the child. Then I became a juvenile justice specialist in other areas, other states, they may call them juvenile probation officers. And your job is protection of the public. But at the same time, you also have to protect that child. So I'm talking about something so precious, so valuable, and we're talking about our youth, our children, our loved ones. So in me wanting to talk about that, how can you turn away from this channel right now? Because we're in such a microwave society, we only just tune in for a moment, oh, it don't sound like something I want to hear, and we turn away. When in fact, you are the main ones that should be listening to what I'm going to talk about here. So stick with me. Don't go anywhere because it's just that important. I'm going to share with you 3 stories. And these are true stories. True stories involving kids and families. And one could consider how horrific it is. But you definitely need to hear this. So don't turn away just yet. Because I'm going to get to a point here and it's going to shock you and it's going to open your eyes even more because it's going on all around you and we're not paying any attention to it. I'm going to talk about a 13-year-old girl, one story. I'm going to also talk about a 6-year-old boy, another story. And I'm also going to talk about a family with 4 kids, all teenagers, 3 boys, 1 girl. And you talk about the power of confusion it has on our children today. How many of you think that it's important to protect our children? Not just physically, but mentally as well. How many of you think it's important that you determine how to raise your child and what you instill in them? How many of you think that's important? What I'm going to talk about here today, it's been something that's been dwelled in me for quite some time now. And it's a sensitive topic. And, I just couldn't hold it back anymore. And I say this because what I'm going to say, I have friends people that I highly respect. And this is not denouncing them in any way. But I want to talk about something that, and of course this video may get pulled. It may get taken off because of the sensitivity of it. But I don't think it's offensive, but then again, it probably is. In 2015, the Supreme Court passed a law 5-4, as far as same-sex marriage. And what many look for could be a good thing, others determine not. But then again, it doesn't matter what law get passed. It always seems to be that element that's spin off of that. Such as, and by the way, I believe this. Anybody can be with whoever they want to be with. Whether you want to announce it to the world or not, to me, some things just need to be private. Everybody doesn't have to know everything about you. Everybody doesn't have to know everything about your, whatever it is, your home life, your situation. Certain things just need to be left in your home, in private, between you and your spouse, your mate, or whoever. But not everything just needs to be blown way out like, it's such a grandiose thing. When laws are passed, and I'm a law abider, I abide by the law. Whether I like it or not, I abide by the law. But the thing is, when laws are passed, other things seem to evolve out of it that was not really meant for it. Such as men suddenly deciding, well, I want to be a woman today, or vice versa. Or go into a bathroom that they know they shouldn't go into because of what I am now. Now, I'm not denouncing any of that because I know people, and we all have people, we all have family, and that we consider friends and we highly respect. Same here, okay? But the thing is that how other things evolve from something. I was watching television, and you may have seen the same programs. When you watch TV, and if there's something that's dealing with violence, sex, or any type of inappropriate behavior, what usually comes on? A rating, giving us warnings, right? Before we even watch that. Now, then all of a sudden, there are other programs that are not. Doesn't give us any warning, and it interferes with the raising of our children. because kids' minds are so vulnerable. They hadn't had a chance. They're still experiencing things for the first time. I had a 13-year-old girl that came in my office one day. Well, she was on probation and following up. And in that process, we get to know the kids, we get to know the families, but we want to find out as much as we can about that child so we could change a certain behavior as far as delinquency is concerned, meaning, they're getting in trouble, got arrested, committed a crime or whatever. And she came in, we were talking. She said, well, I guess I'm bisexual. I said, well, why would you say that? She said, well, I went to a party last night and this 16-year-old grabbed me and she kissed me and I liked it. And she said, I guess I'm bisexual. 13 years old. First of all, she's 13. She shouldn't have been out at no party that late at night. And then again, a 16-year-old approached her and grabbed her, touched her, and kissed her. And it was her first experience of someone touching her and kissing her like that. Vulnerable, immature minds. Remember when you adults, remember when you were young, how many times did you think of so many different things and you didn't do them, or you wanted to do something, or you wondered about something, but you didn't involve into that, or you did? Because your mind and your feelings and your emotions are they're new. And when you start experiencing things like that for the first time, because the flesh feels good. When somebody rubs you on your arm, or when you are depressed, lonely, and someone touches you, how does that feel? So you can imagine a young, vulnerable mind, and she's so confused and thinking, well, I must be bisexual. Because she liked what she felt. And how many of you may have experienced that as a child, but you're not what she thought she was, and you didn't turn out that way. So however you turn out, that's your business. You live your own life. It's not for me to determine who you are, who you love, and all of that. But we don't have to really, some things I truly believe, there just needs to be private. It doesn't need to be announced to the world. I teach Sunday school class, and I had a 6-year-old boy who was in my class, and he was confused. He wondered if he was gay or not. Keep in mind, 6 years old, vulnerable, immature mind. And the reason he felt that way because some kids had called him, punk or something. And the kid never carried himself that way. And I knew him for, a little kid. But he was highly intelligent. And, and sometimes, how kids, when they are very intelligent, bookworm type kids, and then you got the other kids that are not, they'll pick on you or say certain things. And it caused him to question himself. His grandmother even approached out of concern because of what he said, wondering if he's gay. Now, what would even make him even think that at 6 years old? Are they being taught something in school? Are they watching something on TV or reading such materials or being influenced by someone? And my final story. 4 teenage kids was in our system on probation. Of course, I believe one may have been in state's custody. But the thing about all 4 is that you had 3 boys, 1 girl. The mother was once married. And of course, she was in an abusive relationship. And of course, in the process, she got lonely and so forth. And along the way, she got engaged in a relationship and got married, same sex. It bothered the heck out of those kids. Those kids developed such an anger and embarrassment, subjected to ridicule. And they fought a lot. And I think, that's how we dealt with them, because they became violent. And I remember them telling me they did not support that relationship with the mom. And then you had the new parent. She tried to take on the dominant role. And I remember her coming to my office and saying, I can't get them to obey. They won't mind me. And me working with the state government, I'm very limited on what I can say because I have to obey the law. And sometimes, well, let's put it this way. If you have kids, the way I see it, your kids need to come before certain relationships. And in this case, there was a toxic relationship because the kids never accepted it. And the whole family was just total dysfunction and to the point of destruction, all because of such a relationship. Now, I'm not denouncing, I'm really not denouncing that, but many of you that out there that have to feel different about it, you have a different opinion about it. But I'm talking about children. I'm talking about their vulnerable minds, the power of confusion and influence. Kids are easily influenced. There's power and influence, how kids can be influenced, and how things evolve from it that no one even anticipated until it's there. How do we protect our children's minds physically and mentally? Do you think that's important? Now, here's my main point. I'm watching television, and many of you have seen this as well. Because like I said, we have ratings when it comes down to movies and certain TV shows, okay? When it comes to violence, sexual content, whatever. And so here we are, we're watching family television, whether CBS, NBC, ABC, whatever. And then all of a sudden, commercials comes on, right? We don't get any warnings, do we? If it's sexual content, Victoria's Secret, and all the boys are like headlight blind lights hit them in the, blinding lights hit them in their eyes. Just like when we were kids. I remember the J.C. Penney magazine would come out, us boys. What do? We go in and watch women with their underwear on, right? Okay. But all of a sudden now, bam, it's just live video right in your face. And don't think boys are trying their best to see through that. See the influence, the power of that have? But here's another kicker. When all of a sudden you're seeing a pharmaceutical company's commercial come in, and then, bam, there it is, right in your face. Guys kissing. You're seeing more of this. Like, what's the agenda here? You're seeing more of this than you see a man and a woman doing in today's time. But the thing is this, and here's my whole purpose of this particular video. What do we do when it's interfering with the raising of our kids? Shouldn't commercials with such content also have warning ratings? Should there be ratings on such commercials that's interfering? When I'm watching a family program, then when the commercial comes on, then all of a sudden, bam, there it is. And my kids, look back, or they get so immune to it. And we just leave it alone because it's on television now. Even though we talk about it behind the scenes and it's upsetting, we don't do anything about it. Like, what can we do about it? Here's a bit of information that you need to know. Contact your congressman. Let them know. This is a federal situation, not state, not city or state. It's federal. And so you need to contact your congressman because your congressman oversees the Federal Communication Commission. They're the ones. And here, I have some information here. Listen to this. It says right here, The Federal Communication Commission regulates interstate and international communications by radio, television, wire, satellite, and cable in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and U.S. territories. An independent U.S. government agency overseen by Congress, the Commission is the United States' primary authority for communications law, regulation, and technological innovation. So there you have it. I highly encourage you, if you too are upset or opposed to what you see on TV commercials, and you feel there's nothing you can do, I have cable television. I spend 200 and some, 250 whatever per month on cable TV, and of course my landline goes along with that. And imagine if there's a dip in that. But we're not going to, let's face it, we're not getting rid of our TVs, nor are we getting rid of our social media and everything else. Let's be real. But we need some help, don't we? We need some help. And this is not denouncing any one particular group or another. All this is trying to get control of a situation that's out of control. And another thing that the Federal Communications Commission could possibly do, if there's no warnings placed before these particular commercials, to at least show them late at night. At least then everyone would know, hey, well, late at night, these particular type programs come on. But we have to do something, so I highly encourage you, contact your congressperson, whoever that may be on the federal level, your congressman, man or woman, it doesn't matter, and let them know this situation, your legislator, your senator, let them know that something has to be done. Because, like I said, in my profession, too much influence has become over our children. I'm not happy about that. And because of that, we have to do something. Too much violence, too much drugs, too much sex, too much, inappropriate behavior on every demeanor you can possibly imagine in today's time. So if there's going to be commercials like that, let there be some ratings. So we, as parents, can have some control on how we want to raise our children. Make certain that our children get the morals and the values and the decency that we want to instill in them, and not when we want to watch entertainment and paying hundreds of dollars, to these cable and TV networks, and they just blow it out on us all because of money. Folks, this is what it's about. Standards, morals are crumbling all around us. And the power of telecommunication is so strong, don't kid yourself, it influences children. It changes children's behavior. And at least that's the little thing we can do to help save these vulnerable minds. And I think you too would agree. If you like what I'm talking about here, now I don't talk about this type of stuff regularly. This is the first time I ever talked about this. But, as you notice, you can look at any of my videos and see what type of videos I have. My videos is about hope. It's about encouragement, giving you some direction. It's about the superstars that's right in our communities that I interview, to let you know if they've done it, you can do it too. If you need some direction, some input on what you want to do with your life. Let you know wherever you are, whatever situation you're in, you can overcome it. And right now we need to overcome these commercials that's spewing out poison to our children. Stay tuned. Continue to follow me. Please press the subscribe button and go with me on this journey. And I encourage you again, please contact your congressperson and let them know about the situation involving commercials so we can try and help protect our vulnerable minds which are our kids. Because what goes in does come out, whether it's positive or negative. Good day.